Alright guys, so it's Coach Dunne back here with another session of X's and O's with FLG. Today I'm going to be explaining our star drill. Okay, this is a defensive drill that works on some of the offensive principles too, about exchanging the ball and things like that. But really what we're going to be talking about are some of our basic defensive principles, including cutting the field, levels of defense, and approaching the ball. Okay, so first and foremost, we've got our offensive guys in our base 1-3-2 offense. Okay, we've got our crease set up. And then what we're doing is we're taking a bow net crease or any other sort of cones if you want to use them, and we're establishing another crease-sized circle about 2 to 3 yards above the actual crease itself. Okay, this gives nice landmarks for the defense to know where to kind of get to without having to have guys move around for them all the time. Okay, so one of the first things that we're going to talk about when we teach this drill is our cutting the field. All right. When we play defense, we cut the field into 3 sections. We cut the field down the middle, going down the middle of the goal, above the goal line. Okay, and what we tell the players is if they start on this side, we want to try and keep them to this side. We want to try and keep Dodgers down the alley to the outside portions of the field. All right, we don't really want them crossing the middle. Sometimes your coaches may have you do that by design. Maybe it's a weak hand defense. But for right now, teaching youth lacrosse, we're teaching kids, we want to make them go to the outside. The other place where we'll divide the field is a little bit above goal line extended, right? We want to keep Dodgers on the wing, getting back towards X. Any Dodgers from X, we want to try and turn at that goal line level and force them back below the goal. So that's where we're trying to make sure that we keep kids and Dodgers outside the field. The next thing, and really what this drill is best for, is teaching your players levels of defense. And that's what our circle is for, and this is a really helpful thing. So I like to put myself, the coach, inside the crease, so I can kind of watch and see if guys are close enough to where they can check me if they need to be, and also seeing that guys are getting out when they have the next ball, all right, when the next pass. Okay, so for right now, we're going to start our ball right here in our top left quadrant, okay, and I'm going to draw on our defenders. One of the things that we talk about with our guys at FLG is where defensively we want to get our hands on people, all right? If they are playing up on the ball in this area, the players should be getting their hands on them at about goal at the top of the box. Okay? So a lot of times what will happen is, especially coming out of the winter, you get guys who've been playing a lot of basketball and people will dodge at them and they'll continue to retreat, and now they're going to be able to get the shot off before they can ever actually get their hands on them. Alright, the next guy we're going to put in is the adjacent guy. He should be a little bit above his man, alright, about 5 to 6 yards away, so that he's able to get out of this guy's hands. Put the guy who's covering the man at X. When the ball is above the goal line, right, our first level of defense that we're going to talk about is that when the ball is up top, everybody needs to be above the top of the crease, okay? And if you're 2 passes away, we're going to tell you that we really should be all the way into where you can put a foot in that second crease that we've added, all right? So even though this guy's playing at X, if he plays down at goal line extended, okay, he's actually helping that crease become bigger. We want to shrink that area where the crease player can operate. We call this guy on the back side of the defense our community help guy, right? He's again helping to shrink the area in which the crease player can operate, but it's not necessarily his slide. All right, then we're going to put in our offside midfielder, who this guy in our defense is your second slide. He needs to be 5 yards below the ball, okay? Below the ball, so that he's able, if this guy dodges and he stays 5 yards below, he should be picking up that player on the crease. All right? But you also don't want to be sucked so far in that they're able to throw it across to your player and you can't get out and get your hands on him if you need to. All right? So that's our second slide guy. Very, very important that he's watching between the guy on the crease and the guy who he's marking up top. We don't want him staring at the Dodger, okay? And then our last guy is our hot guy. And it's really important now that our hot guy understands that he needs to come to the Dodge side of that second crease that we've put in. Okay, too often, right, our hot guy stands right next to his player on the crease. He may get walked away, which is one of the wallabies here at FLG. All right, he's hot. When the Dodge starts, he's going to remain hot. But we're not going to really slide and recover just yet. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to throw the ball down. You can throw it in either direction you want. You can use a whistle to change directions. All right, but we're going to say right now that this guy threw a pass to this guy right here, and this is a drill where you can help the offensive players really develop their skills by telling your poles that when the ball gets down into this area to really put some pressure on the offensive guy's hands so they have to work hard to exchange the ball. All right? And again, so this is going to begin to change all of our levels of defense. Right? We talked about first when the ball was above the goal, everybody needed to be at the top of the crease or over. Well, now the ball is on the side of the field. All players need to be walked in to the near side pipe, or the backside pipe, I should say. All right? And now our offside midi is fully down. He's below the 20-yard marker, okay, if you're playing on a football field. Okay, when the ball goes down to the wings or below goal line, everybody needs to be within 10 yards of the goal. All right, this way they can help to the crease. All right, so now our guy who was just on ball, he's starting to drop into this area right here, preventing this guy from being able to cut and make an easy feed. All right, now our defensive player on ball is out playing hard. Okay, again, our hot guy moves a little bit to get himself to the edge of that crease. And now our next defender, right, he's going to start to head out to make this next pass difficult. All right? So that's our levels of defense from this side. This guy now passes the ball to X. All right? Now both defenders here are in a position, because they're not hot in this particular situation, to be able to play out a little bit. I know a lot of guys, maybe you want to go coma sliding, so they've got to help back in. All right, but here with our program, we slide to everything at the crease, especially at the youth level, to keep it nice and easy. All right? Now, our hot guy, very important that he doesn't go beyond the edge of this crease again until this guy, if he actually decides to start dodging. I think one of the biggest mistakes that guys get worried about when the hot guy and the dodger is at X is that they start creeping down almost to the top of their own crease, and they're leaving that guy so far away that everybody's got to suck so far down they're leaving skip passes open. So I always tell our defender, if you're the hot guy, until this guy starts to drive, until he actually starts to make his move, you kind of stay inside that crease area where you're able to help, and then you can kind of creep down into this area here. All right? So now, both guys, now this is our third level of defense, right? When the ball is below goal line, or even if it's in the corners, both guys need to be within 10 yards of the cage, right? Again, if you're playing on that football field, it's your 20-yard marker, okay? Because if this dodger goes like we have him drawn right now to the right-hand side, okay, this defender, he should be the second slide, all right? If the guy were to reverse direction and go opposite, okay, this guy would now become the second slide. So these guys are kind of pushing and pulling with each other. If the ball's going to your side, you're extending out a little bit, not too far. And if the ball is going away from you, then you need to help into the crease. And you need to be within what we say a step and a check. You definitely need to be within this circle, a step and a check, to be able to get to that guy's stick side in case he cuts. All right? Coaches, you should be able to turn around, look over your shoulder, and make sure that guys are within a step and a check of you at all times. All right, so now the last place that we're going to start to move the ball, the last two places really, will be over here to the side. He's got the ball. Our levels of defense should all be pretty similar to what they were when the ball was on the other side, right? This defender, he's now got to get in to the backside edge of the crease or the backside pipe. The defender that was just on ball can think about starting to return, but shouldn't leave his guy completely. Our midi on the corner here, he can start to press out a little bit. Not crazy again, because usually they're going to try and load up the dodge for the high middle. And now this guy, he's got to be all the way in because he is the second slide right now. Okay, hopefully this defender, right, the further they get away from the goal, maybe you're just playing his hands. But if he's really driving, we want to make sure we turn him back underneath so that our hot guy can come to the inside roll only. All right, and then of course our last pass, where we're going to be making that ball go up here. Our defender should be getting his hands on him if he's all the way, if he's a dodger and in that dodging situation, hands on him at the top of the box. Our other defenseman who's up here now, he should be 5 yards below the ball. And our hot guy should be moved over to now to the dodge side over here. This guy, right, ball's back above the goal, so he needs to be back above the top of the crease. And this defender is somewhat pressed out, right? We've got our community help guy, our hot guy, our second slide, all right, 2 passes away, and our adjacent pass. All right, so if you want to have your offensive guys play against this, so you check the guys are getting on and off the ball, because I find that that's one of the biggest problems at the youth level. We don't do a great job of getting on and off the ball. All right, and then you can always blow a whistle to walk them through the slide package from there. And that's our star drill as far as teaching defensive landmarks.